Hello, welcome to Inkscape for Teachers. I'm Geoff Phillips. In this episode I'll be showing you what's called the zero dissection puzzle. You can find a series of dissection puzzles on the internet if you wish to try and draw them in Inkscape, but let's have a go at this one where the pieces of the zero are taken apart and form these shapes below. I'll show you how the pieces look individually by giving them a white border. Shift click white there, and you can see there are the pieces that we're after. So what I'll do is I'll scroll across over into a blank area of the working space, and let's draw one from scratch. We'll start with a square and Control Shift and drag from the outside. It doesn't really matter what size, you can use a grid if you like, but we'll try and do that without that. I'll give it a fill, and look, initially I'll give it no border by shift clicking the cross because we want to fit shapes together. Now once I've got that square, I'm going to use the Bezier pen tool here, or Bezier pen tool. Click that and just draw a right angled triangle based on that square. There we go, joining that up. If I then give that a fill, I'll give it a blue fill just so you can see the difference. I can drag that up there. Let's make it black now. So those two form one of the shapes we want. Before that I'll just duplicate the triangle, Control D, drag that away. Now I'm going to drag around those two shapes and Control Shift plus to form a union of those two shapes, or path union. So that's now all one shape. Now I'm going to duplicate that, Control D, duplicate, and I'll reflect that in a horizontal axis. And now I'm going to drag around both of those, Control D to duplicate them, reflect them in a horizontal axis, and drag down. With the triangle, let's just move these across a bit. Triangle, I'm going to place one here, Control D to duplicate, and then reflect in a horizontal axis and a vertical axis, and put them together to form a square, but I won't make a union of those. I'll drag around both of those, Control D, and put that down there, and then I'll drag these two bits across, and there's our zero shape. If you look closely you can see lines separating some of them. If I zoom in, sometimes that helps, but I'm going to drag around all of that, Control D, and with the copied or duplicated one I'll shift click the white just so you can see the divisions there. See them slightly. If you want to make them more obvious, go to the stroke style menu under the fill and stroke dialog and bump the stroke up to, millimetre, whatever you want, just to make it more obvious. So there are our pieces. Okay, excuse me. Now to do the puzzle on the computer screen, you might have issued students with a photocopy of this or projected onto the board and asked them to see if they can put it together. You can just drag pieces around. It's probably easier to do it with the bits without the border because the sides are exactly right, and the thickness of the border doesn't get in the way of putting pieces together. But you can try it either way. I've got these snap tools on, snap to paths, snap to midpoints, and snap to cusp nodes, that's corners, and that seems to help. So if I was doing the star, I could perhaps do this. You can see that's rotated around, so I might want to use the left square bracket, 1, 2, 3, that'd be a 45-degree rotation. Now this one obviously is not going to be right if I join that around, so I'll reflect it in a vertical axis, then I'll click on it and left square bracket, 1, 2, 3, and actually, well, I'll reflect that one as well and rotate it around. You can see I'm a bit spatially challenged, and you can see I've started to form those bits there. I can do the same over here. 1, 2, 3, and this one here, 1, 2, 3 left bracket presses, and these bits here are the triangles that I'll be able to use to fill in the other spikes. For example, if I rotate, I can use right bracket rotations as well, or left bracket square brackets I'm talking about here, and rotate things into position. So that looks about right, and let's go the other way. You see I can't quite, oh yes I can get that, and there we have it, a solution to one of the puzzles. If you want to get rid of those slightly light areas there, select the lot, shift click the black and bump it up to enough to hide them. You can see there I've solved that puzzle. I'll show you the solution to the jet. You can look these up online, I guess. Again, shift click with white, give it a white border, and bump that up to about 0.6 or so, and you can see the solution. So there we have it, an interesting puzzle called the zero dissection puzzle. Thanks for watching.